Hey guys, it's the Wellness Doctor, Dr. Jeffrey Clark from Marketplace Chiropractic Wellness Center. And Lola and I have our green on for St. Patrick's Day. We just want to wish everyone a happy St. Patrick's Day. This is a time of year where everyone gets to pretend that they're Irish. And I've made a couple March Madness videos where I get to act like a goofball and use my alter ego. And of course there's some people who would say that's not my alter ego at all. But today I want to be a little bit more serious. Now in our March Madness, we have our March on In specials, and we have our referral contest where we're using the March Madness college basketball kind of as a theme to award prizes to people who refer others in and to those patients who come in as new patients. Wanted to share with you a little bit of on a serious note what we do with subluxation-based wellness chiropractic. And the first premise that we know that is irrefutable is that the nervous system is the master control system for the entire body. And it controls every function of the body. So if there is stress on the nervous system, then obviously there are going to be functions of the body that aren't working at 100%. The problem is we don't know what those are going to be. We know that scientifically chiropractic has been proven effective for headaches and dysmenorrhea and infantile colic, but there isn't a specific adjustment for any of those conditions. We're treating the vertebral subluxation, correcting it, reducing stress on the nerve system, and we know that then the body can function at a higher level. So we had a couple new patients in this week. I just wanted to share a little information. One is an older gal in her 70s, and she was actually climbing her granddaughter's staircase. Granddaughter's in her 20s, and developed some hip pain, and it's progressively worsened to the point where she can't lift her leg. But when she came in, I addressed the entire spine, checked the neck, the mid-back, the low back, and we look at other issues too as well. But I found some problems in her neck, and in her lower neck she had a lot of degenerative change, a lot of anterior translation and stress on the spine, and we were seeing areas where the bones were starting to wear out. And I could predict that those nerves in that area were going to have problems. Well, guess what? Her thyroid gland comes right from that same area. And this was an old, long-standing problem. And about 12, 15 years ago, she actually had her thyroid gland surgically removed. The other thing we see is when we see degenerative changes in that lower neck, more often than not, we're going to see high blood pressure. And guess what? She's on 3 different blood pressure medications. Now, what would have happened if instead of waiting till she was in her 70s, if she had been a lifelong chiropractic patient, could that have been prevented? My guess is that, yeah, if she took proper care of herself from a chiropractic standpoint, lived a chiropractic lifestyle, she'd probably not have the high blood pressure, probably wouldn't have the thyroid condition. Can't make those claims for sure, but my guess is that she'd be in a lot better shape than she is now. Second patient came in, his mom referred him in, and she wasn't a patient. She just saw a sign in the window one day and came in and asked some questions. He's got severe pancreatitis and lives 50 miles away and is commuting to see us in part for chiropractic, but also for the laser therapy that we do in our wellness center. But he has seen 7 different specialists. One specialist will refer to someone else, who refers to someone else, who refers to someone else, who winds up referring back to the initial specialist. So of those 7 specialists, he still sees 3 of them on a regular basis. One doctor had the gall to actually tell him, there's nothing I can do, you're probably just going to die in a couple of years anyway. And when he came in, I said, I don't know anything about pancreatitis. I certainly don't treat it. Here's what we do. We look at the nervous system, we look at the spine, we see where there's areas of stress. We make an appropriate adjustment using either my hands or the drop table or an instrument. In his case, we used an instrument. And then we look for subtle changes. We also talked about lifestyle. The reason you got in this condition, I said, do you know what it was? He said, yeah, stupidity. I was dumb. I lived a lifestyle of excess with drugs and alcohol. And certainly he recognizes the core problem. And that is, with all of us, we tend to live incongruently with our innate genetic programming. There are certain things that we're supposed to do. We're animals living in captivity, and we treat ourselves differently than we would any other wild animal. If we went to the zoo and fed the animals what we feed ourselves, they'd all be sick too. So the first thing we have to do is start addressing our lifestyle issues in congruence with getting our nervous system functioning well. And that's the whole core of wellness care that we practice at Marketplace Chiropractic Wellness Center. And he said for the first time in 40 years, in the 5 years that he's been suffering this condition, a doctor has finally offered him some glimmer of hope. And unfortunately, he's already got severe problems. There are limitations of physical matter that we can't correct in certain cases. But the human body and its ability to recover and heal is amazing. Dr. Oz says you get a do-over, and that's absolutely true. But you have to change your lifestyle. You have to work on the nervous system, and that's where we come in to help. So thank you for your referrals. If you're not coming in on a regular basis because you don't think, well, I don't need to because I don't have an acre of pain, come in, we'll do a consultation, we'll check your spine, we'll see if we find anything, and we'll develop a program specifically for you. So once again, a happy St. Patrick's Day. Lola wishes you a happy St. Patrick's Day. Thank you for the referrals. Thank you for coming in. We appreciate you, and God bless you all.